Yeah, Joy, I'm live. Goddamn thing. Oh, still can't believe this stupid thing happened. Of course, right now. Well, what do you expect? This is the only time I use this. All right, I've got to see. Now I have to wait for people to show up. And I can only hope this works. Testing once again. At this point, I have. Okay, it looks like somebody is watching at least. But I need somebody to show up on the chat and tell me whether or not there is sound. Hello, Rick Stumbow. All right, can you hear me? Sound? I can hear you. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, all right. I apologize for the trouble, folks. Okay, what happened was I've been prepared for this pretty much all day. And so 4 minutes before the live was scheduled to start, went upstairs, got my silly little clip mic, the one that I've been using for about the past year or so. Went to fasten it onto my shirt and snap. The little snap of the little clip on it just plain breaks. The spring flies off and everything like that. So I am not able to clip that thing to my shirt, which meant that, well, and I really can't do cooking and stuff while I'm holding this tiny little mic in front of me. So I had to go and get my stand mic, the one that I've used for recording videos there at my PC, and plug it in. And lo and behold, this stupid thing would not automatically connect to the sound. So I did indeed have to restart. As a result, well, here I am now. I am actually using a stand mic here. Duct tape. Yeah, I know. It's like next time I might have to use duct tape. But actually, I have to ask, how is the sound quality? I mean, how does it sound? I mean, does it sound all right? Because, yeah, exactly. Round two. No kidding. But I'd like to know, how does this sound compared to just about every other week, actually? Sounds good. Okay, sounds fine. All right. Oh, well, that's good. I mean, I suppose the least I could do is show you the stand mic that I'm using here. This is, in fact, a Yeti mic, a stand mic. So it's a decent quality stand mic, in fact, and I got it really, especially for my for doing my regular videos at my desk. Oh, sounds better. Well, who knows? Maybe this might force it. Okay, force a change here. All right. Well, hello to Randy Holcomb and hello to Tessa M. First time here. Well, yeah, as you can see, this is pretty typical for this channel, that's for sure. I mean, it's one reason why we call it Cast Iron Chaos. And hello to Cynthia Wesley and Calamity Jane and Tessa Reed and 4M Morris family and Val's Black Cats Rules. And finally, welcome everybody to Cast Iron Wednesday, which, as you know, is a tradition that many of our YouTube cooking channels have been doing on Wednesdays, in that we do a cast iron video. And yes, I've been doing this as well now for the past 4 years. In fact, I do believe we've just hit our 4-year anniversary. Nice thing to happen on this anniversary. So, but yes, I have indeed been planning this really pretty much all day, and I've been preparing for it too, because really it's like I just had the urge to try something different, or at least different for me. I mean, I have been cooking. I've been cooking now in cast iron for 13 years, and I've been doing these silly videos here for about 10 years, and these live videos for 4 years. And my usual thing, of course, is doing chicken and beef and steak and wok stir fries and the occasional cake and pizza. But all this time I have not really baked a proper loaf of bread, the proper kind that you actually prepare in advance and rise and everything like that. And so finally, and so I decided really tonight would be as good a time as any to make my first loaf of properly risen bread. I have made no-knead bread a few times, and my no-knead bread has turned out okay. I have yet to do a fantastic loaf of bread. And likewise, I've made a lot of pizza dough too. I mean, I can't deny that. I've made a lot of pizza dough in cast iron, and my pizza dough has turned out pretty good. A couple of times I think it's turned out great. But yeah, here I am now making my attempt at baking bread. There, I said it already. And hello as well to Handsome Stone. Make cast iron findable again. Yeah, all those elusive pieces you need. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Message I'll get behind. Oh yeah, you're talking about my shirt. Yes, exactly. My shirt is, well, I'm being completely neutral with my shirt. Even though what I've said about my political leanings, I am not going to talk about politics tonight. I guess all I'm going to say is that this shirt is a reminder. Everybody, and I mean everybody, needs to vote this year on November 5th. And that's all I'm saying right now, because we are doing bread tonight. So yes, I was cooking for the animals. Okay. And yeah, exactly. Cynthia Wesley as well. Yeah, all those elusive pieces. Okay, yeah, exactly. It helps when the alcohol is overproofed. Okay, now okay, let's get down to business, shall we? That means I got a couple of things to get out of the way here. All right. So yeah, like I said, we're doing bread tonight. And in fact, I prepared for this in advance, in fact, and I actually rose my first loaf of bread about 3 hours ago, in fact, because I wanted to be sure that we would have some bread here on this live video. So what I'm figuring is I'm going to start a second loaf, and we're also going to cook the first loaf, or bake the first loaf, I should say, which is in fact right now in its second rise, and it's in the oven. The heat on the oven is turned off, but I do have the oven light turned on, which folks who do this kind of thing know that the oven light will very barely heat your oven to like maybe about 80 degrees or so, which means, and that's the perfect temperature really for raising bread. In fact, I suppose I might as well show how the results have been so far. So let's get this out of the oven. Oh man, wow. Holy cow. Like I said, this is my first loaf of bread. And so far, not bad at all, if I may say so. Yeah. Hey, I'm liking this. All right. So, yeah, nice voice echo from the oven. Oh, really? You could hear that even? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we're definitely off to a good start here. I think this is a nice. This, in fact, is a typical 8-inch cast iron loaf pan. This white stuff here on the end. This is just Crisco. Okay, so yeah, man, I'm actually impressed. I didn't think it would rise this well. So, hey, I'm certainly not going to complain. That means, although I did not preheat the cast iron pan, I think I can safely put this thing up here on top of the oven right now, and in fact, start preheating the oven to 350. Okay. But wow, that thing rose better than I thought. As I said, that is my first loaf of properly risen bread. So yay. Okay, egg wash that top. Yeah, I will do that when we're ready to get this into the oven. Okay, right now though, as I said, I wanted to actually start a second one, sort of like the Pullman loaf pan. It's actually a Camp Chef loaf pan. Yes, it's true. Earlier this year, I did in fact get the larger, what is it, like a 10 or 11-inch Lodge loaf pan that they just released. But this was my very first loaf of bread, and I really didn't want to, obviously I didn't want to mess it up. So having seen this, though, I may very well take a chance and try doing a larger loaf of bread. That's actually starting to sound like a plan. Okay, but that means we need to get started here. Yeah, because, well, again, I mean, the whole point here is to have some fun. So let's bring this. That means I get to bring this out. I should raise this up again. Yeah, folks who do this regularly know that we go on this kind of a roller coaster ride every so often. Let's head up to about here. There we go. Tighten this. Lower the view, and here we are here at the let's move this around a little bit. There we go. That's a better view. Okay, yeah, and as you can see, this is the stand mic I have here now, and so I better be careful not to get this thing all dirty now that I'm actually using it here in the kitchen. Anyway, okay, so we are preparing ourselves a basic loaf of sandwich bread. I wanted to go for something nice and easy tonight, because as I said, this is my first real loaf of bread. One thing, however, at least I have learned a couple of lessons before from all of that pizza dough and also from those cakes I've made for as far as playing with flour. And what I've learned is it's a good idea to measure and sift the flour. I mean, that at least really helps you to get the right consistency. So that means let's do that here. Bowl, scale, turn it on. I'll center that and set the bowl and set this to grams. All right, where are we? There we go, grams. Okay. While we're doing this, yeah, flour will damage that mic. Yeah, that's my worry there. Exactly. So I kind of did this on like an emergency basis. I think I'll put this back over here for the moment. Hopefully you should still be able to hear me. Good grief, off to a great start there. Anyway, as I said, you should still be able to hear me because this is a decent quality mic. But what we need to do is measure out the bread. So let me bring up that recipe again, which unfortunately I didn't. Oh, good grief, get rid of that. I'm not interested in that. Come on. Back. Here we are. Okay. Uses for homemade sandwich bread. Yes, exactly. And the problem with these baking sites is they tend to scroll to the top so that you have to go through all of these stupid ads. Better believe I'm going to have to put a bread recipe on my own website so that I don't have to deal with these stupid ads here. Anyway, this is here somewhere. Trying as fast as I can. Finally, here we go. Okay, oh yeah, that's right. Even before I do that, I've got to warm up some water and some whole milk. Yeah, that's the other thing I know. You've got to warm up just that, the liquids here, because you don't want to kill the yeast and you don't want to freeze the yeast. So I've got to heat up 1 cup of water, and we will start with that. Coming up here. 1 cup of water. And I'm going to use the microwave. Shame on me, because I want to get this done fast. I mean, yes, I could very well heat it on the stovetop, but as I said, I want to get this part done fast. So, besides, I learned earlier today anyway, that this 1 cup here, if I heat it for 30 seconds, it will get to just about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's a decent temperature right there. And according to the recipe here, we start by mixing it up in the mixing bowl here. And we only have about 10 seconds to go already. Let me get this out of the way here. All right. Get this someplace safe. That looks good. Okay. So here we are with start with the water. And just to be safe, let's turn on the probe thermometer here. Yeah, the beginning steps are kind of slow, as I've learned already. Yeah, exactly. See, this thing here is 95 degrees, it looks like, which is not a bad temperature. I mean, the important thing is it needs to be lukewarm, so there's a good start. Now, from here, I need to pour out only about 1/4 cup of milk. So let's pull the milk out of the fridge. And what I also learned when I heated up 1/4 cup of milk, 30 seconds in the microwave was quite frankly too long. It heated it up to like about 140 degrees. So as well as I want to measure it properly. This is 8 ounces. There we go. That's what I want. Quarter cup coming up. Almost there. There we are. There's a quarter cup of milk, which does not take long. I only need to heat this for maybe 15 to 20 seconds. So this won't take long. All right. So that means I will take it out after, as I said, just under 15 seconds, and we'll measure it. Because again, I don't want to overdo it. Okay. I've only had this in the microwave for 15 seconds. Where did I just put that probe thermometer? Oh, back here. All right, let's see what it looks like now. And currently we're at 88, 91 degrees. So it's about the same as the water. So I think we're pretty good here. All right, so we've got a quarter cup of milk, a 1 full cup, and let's get this milk back. Now to this, we break out the yeast. Where did I put the yeast back in the fridge already? I did. Okay. Ugh. No worries. Of course, after all that preparation, I am less organized than I want it to be. And let's make sure we don't spill this yeast all over the place. Supposed to do 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, which is supposedly what you get in 1 packet. So here's 1, here's 2, and just barely do about, there we go. And finally to this, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Because yes, this is American sandwich bread. It is very sweet. I'll work on sourdough bread a little later. Sugar. Have that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sugar coming up. And as I said, I am more than happy to receive snarky comments, largely because I deserve them. All right, here's 1 tablespoon of sugar. Here's 2 tablespoons of sugar. Get it all over the place as usual. Cover the sugar so I don't spill any more of it. Now we get to use a whisk. Mix it all together. Now from here, we cover the bowl. Where did I just put the cover? Okay. This trick I learned from Brian Lagerstrom, who does a lot of bread making. All you really need to do is cover the bowl like that. It saves the trouble of using plastic wrap. And we only need to do it like this for a few minutes or so. So during this time, let me get my phone out of the way. Yeah. Not that I'm at risk of dropping it or anything like that. Now we get to finally, now it's time to prepare our, now it's time to sift the bread, sift the flour that is. And this again, we are going for 4 tablespoons, there it is. 3 1/3 cups, about 420 to 430 grams of flour. And so This recipe mentions all-purpose flour or bread flour, but especially since it's my first loaf of bread, I'm going for the bread flour. All right, just a little bit here. In fact, let's move over this way a little bit so you can see this. And you can also see the scale. We're only at 96 grams. That means I can safely do this. Don't worry, I do have more. I've got a whole container yet of bread flour. Anyway, from here, we're at 193, which is not bad. So as I said, here's another container. I just don't want to spill it all over the place. Okay, now we are at 244. 290, 300. We're now at 342. We're almost there. We wanted 425. So now comes the fun part. Measuring it just to the right point. We're now at 391. Come on. We're now at 408. 415. There we are, 426. Okay, that means we've done it. Get the rest of this out. And as usual, I'm getting it all over the place. However, we did it. We have sifted the flour. I've had good luck with cakes by sifting the flour, and I found that other bread, that first loaf of bread, it did seem to rise pretty well. I'll say that much. Okay, now that we are at that point, looks like it's starting to bloom, so we are getting close already. So we're off to a pretty decent start here. All right, now to this, and I do hope Louis J shows up because I know Louis J has done a lot of bread making. He probably does this in his sleep. And for me, this is my second loaf of prepared and risen bread. So it's all new to me. Although the first one actually was easier than I expected. Okay, that means from here, we are going to add a couple more things to the mixing bowl. And that would be unsalted butter and a little bit of salt, and then we will go from there. Fortunately, I've already prepared. I have it right here. Actually, I could put this sifter away. Clean up your workspace. Let's also throw out this bag. All right. Fortunately, earlier today, I measured a whole stick of butter, used the first half in the first loaf of bread. So here comes the second half of softened room temperature butter. Come on. Plop. Now we can throw this out. Put this in the sink. And finally, can probably even start slowly mixing it and as we add the salt. So that means, there we go. Time, finally, for the KitchenAid mixer. Along with, yay, a nice fancy bread dough hook. This little shaped thing was yet another flea market find. I found it sometime in the past few years. I don't remember exactly when, although I remember the flea market I found it at. It was in Worcester, Massachusetts. So, yeah. All right, that means, let's hook this up, fasten it, put on the dough hook. Because, yes, I do have a standard C-shaped dough hook or an angled dough hook. But, yeah, it's like when I came across this, I wanted to get it. Okay, now I better move this mixer. I better move my microphone, in fact, because, this mixer is actually fairly loud. All right. And also, I don't want to accidentally unplug the mic. That's the other thing. How exciting. Who doesn't like freshly baked bread? Oh, yeah, I love freshly baked bread. That's one reason why I'm excited to do this. Let's start here. I do still have to add the salt. And the point of this recipe, we're talking about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So that, of course, is 3½ teaspoons. And then from there, we get to actually add the flour. 1, 2, and yes, this is definitely a ½ teaspoon spoon. I didn't make the mistake of using a full teaspoon. Not that I've ever done that before. And 3. And now you start adding the flour a little bit at a time. In fact, I'm wondering if I can even actually get a better view for you folks here. That's pretty good. Let's add about 1/3 of it. Scrape off the rest of this, and let's turn it up a notch. Because yeah, we're supposed to do this on medium, and this is only halfway, so this is medium. Again, I hope the sound, okay. If the sound is drowning you out, then maybe I might want to try moving the mic a little further away still. Anyway, now that knows that we need to make pasta, that would be great. Now that's yet another thing we need to do. Yes, I agree. Yeah, this is actually like a professional dough hook that they use in professional bakeries and the like, and restaurants. So yeah, again, I was really psyched to come across this dough hook at a flea market in Worcester, Massachusetts, of all places. Anyway, I have found a great potato bread recipe I made into rolls. Super yummy. Oh yeah, there's so many kinds of bread that I could make. I mean, now that I've actually, well, what do you say? It's like lost my V card, I guess you could say, because actually making this kind of bread. Oh man, the possibilities! I got to start making a sourdough starter. I can look into. I mean, hey, we've got Thanksgiving coming up, and for that matter, there's always Christmas and panettone. So who knows? All right, let me turn this off for a moment. Scrape the sides here. That's one disadvantage, is this does not seem to get all the sides. And back on we go. All right, let's put in another about 1/3. That was smart, wasn't it? There we go. All right. You almost skip the bread and eat Nutella right out of the can. Oh no, I have never eaten Nutella right from the jar. No, I've never done that. Anyway, once we're done with this part here, we will be able to turn and bake that other loaf, which I think is still rising in fact. Wow. Love potato bread. Yeah. Once I actually made potato donuts, spud nuts, and they turned out pretty darn good too. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Turn this off again. Scrape the sides. And back on we go again. Again, this mixer is only at half speed too, so yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'd say the only reason ever I think probably to put this thing on high is when I need to make meringue. It's been a while since I've done that too. Anyway. Not looking too bad so far. Safely put in the rest of it. Just try not to bang the bowl again. There we go. Off to a decent start. And so I just have to keep doing this for like about another, maybe 5 to 8 minutes, the recipe says. But it looks like it's coming together nicely. So far, so good. So we just have to be patient as the gluten forms. As it creates gluten. All right, and while we're doing this, did I drop the mic? Can you hear me, folks? Did I unplug the mic? Oh man, please don't tell me I unplugged it. You hear mosquitoes. Uh-oh. Please, no. Can you hear me, folks? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, testing.